All right, what did I get from Hertz? Oh my God, they're raising it by $60 a week? That's right. Hertz is increasing its price nearly $300 a month. Hey everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to the Rideshare Guy. And we're going to be talking about rentals, car rentals, and they're going up in price. So let's talk about some of the different options that you can choose if you decide to rent, or better yet, might be time to look at buying. All right, let's look at the email that we got from a fellow driver that got hold of us talking about Hertz car rental rates and how they're going up. So it says Hertz is raising their car rental rate $60 a week and the loss damage waiver $1 more a day. Couldn't tell how much taxes are going to go up from that, but it's going to go from $1,112 a month to approximately $1,412 a month. And the deposit is going to increase from $478 to around $510 per week. Now, if you're renting, that is a substantial amount to go up per month at $300. $60 a week if you need to rent part-time or something like that. But if you're relying on this service and you are using a rented car, that's going to be a huge cut overall. All right, hold up. I want to see how many more rides you would actually have to give in order to equal that extra $300 a month. So let's figure it out. Now, the typical ride, I would say, is between $7 and $10. That's on average after you average everything out. I see typically between $7 and $10, and it's just going to vary depending on the type of rides that are coming in that particular day or week or so. Let's just go with $8.50. It might be different in your market, so take your average and divide it by 300, or 300 divided by whatever it might be in yours. So let's do 300 and divide that by 850. You'd have to give 35, 36 rides at that average just to make up the difference. And this is on a monthly basis, not on a weekly basis. If we want to do what it would be $60, let's do that. 60 divided by 8.5. You'd have to give another 7 rides just to get what you were making prior to this increase. Wow. That's a lot right there. $300 is a huge, huge amount. Let's talk, what do you have for options? First off, the biggest thing you can do is always compare rates. You should be continuing to compare rates. Just like car insurance rates, when you have to renew every 6 months or so, you should always be checking those rates to see if you could get a better deal. Not only that, you should always be rechecking different car rates if you are renting to get the best available option and the least amount of money. So that means more money in your pocket. Remember, competition is a huge thing. And if you could find a competitor at a much better price that's going to be much more manageable for you, you can always go with that. Just make sure everything is in line when it comes to doing rideshare. All right. The biggest thing, though, is if you can't find a competitive price and for some reason you're paying, $11, $12, $13, $1,400 or so a month, you might want to look at buying a car, because if you buy a car, your car payment is going to be much, much less for the substantial amount of vehicles out there. Depending on the car, obviously, it can be much different. But just going on the average car loan payment in the US is $530 for new vehicles and $381 for used ones. And this is taken from the third quarter in 2018, so things could change since then. But this is taken right from Google. You could actually Google average monthly cost of car payment, and poof, that pops up. Average for new vehicles is $530 a month, and the average for used one is $381 per month. Now, if you're renting, you might be thinking to yourself, well, I don't really need to worry about the car maintenance. I don't need to worry about the wear and tear. I don't need to worry about that stuff. But think about it. If you get a used car for $381 and that's per month, but you're paying $1,000 more, that's $1,000 that could stay in your pocket that you could put towards wear and tear, that you could put towards tires, that you could put towards this and that. And then whatever you don't actually spend when it comes to car maintenance, well, that gets to stay in your pocket. Another benefit to owning a car versus renting when you're doing rideshare is that the mileage rates can differ. Not only that, some bonuses could actually differ as well too. Make sure you're looking at all avenues whenever you are driving. Now, when it comes to leasing, I would not get a lease because most of the time they say that you cannot use it for rideshare anyway. And if they catch you doing it, there could be hefty fines and penalties and things like that. So I would just recommend don't get a lease. Either buy a vehicle and preferably buy a used vehicle. 1 or 2 years old is going to be much cheaper. It's going to be low mileage, so it's going to be like new, but you're not going to be paying the depreciation like a brand new vehicle. And one of the other reasons why a lot of people do rent is because they say that they don't want to put a lot of mileage on their car. I get that. When you're doing rideshare, it's all miles on your car. But you could do different things like food delivery. You could do different things like shopping, where the mileage is going to be substantially less because you're going to be in a smaller area to cover, and it's going to have less miles on your car. Especially if you do something like shopping where you're in-store shopping and then food delivery. So part of it is actually just walking around, not driving. So you can help keep the mileage low there. But the biggest thing that I recommend doing is taking account of all factors and sitting down for a little while, thinking of all the different scenarios, all the different expenses that you got to run through, the averages, the costs, everything, and then figure out what is going to benefit you the most. Is it going to continue renting? Is it going to be something like buying? And is multi-apping with different platforms, or not necessarily rideshare, but doing food delivery or shopping involved? Are those things going to benefit you more? So just take the time, figure that type of stuff out, and then go with what will benefit you the most. What is going to make the most financial sense? It's always about trying to make the most money in the least amount of time and keeping that money in your pocket. Unfortunately, there is no one size fits all. It's going to be determined on several different factors. Just look at all those different factors. You'll figure it out. You'll know exactly what's going to be best for you. But just again, make sure you look at every factor. Now let's hear from you guys. What do you think? What are you doing? Are you renting? Are you finding it better? Put some of the factors on why you're renting. Also, are you buying, or did you buy a car, and do you recommend that? What are the factors behind that? Then also, are you looking at different platforms to try to reduce mileage or anything like that? What are you doing? Comment below and let us know. Now, if you are in the gig economy and you want to keep the most amount of money in your pocket, not only make sure to smash that like button, but also subscribe and ring the bell for notifications, because there's videos on that very subject. So make sure you do that. All right, drive safe, everyone.